Like, this is the real issue here, guys. All right, we've had open borders for a really, really, really long time. Okay, let's just be honest with this here. We have no idea every single individual that have come through through our southern border. We have no idea who some of these people are. Not truthfully, like we're still finding out. This is the reason why they're able to find out some of the people who have had, absolute crazy records of crazy things, guys. All right, like this is a serious fear right here. We need to understand that that happened, and now we need to deal with it. And the repercussions of that happening here is that Iran, in fact, could activate some type of sleeper cells, within the United States of America. Um, Understand that there are a lot of countries who send people here, who have sent people here for nefarious purposes. This is just where we are here, guys, I guess. But let's go ahead and jump into this video immediately. This is a suggestion via Discord. Let's check it out.
Let's bring in former FBI Special Agent and Navy SEAL Jonathan Gilliam. Jonathan, good morning to you. I want to talk to you about what has led to this moment in time. When you think about since October 7th, what Israel was capable of doing with the Patriot against Hezbollah, where Hamas stands right now, and where the Houthis that have, with the help of the United States, been very much decimated in their capabilities to strike back. All of that leading to this moment that we sit in right now.
Right. And, it's interesting when we look at this, Israel has actually evolved back to the out of the box thinking and the tactics of eliminating your enemy like it was in before World War II and during World War II. After that, the world moved to a different way of and we've seen a tremendous amount of advances in techniques and evolution of in Ukraine and Russia. And the way that the Iranian intel services in China use social media, for instance, to actually form social issues within other nations. And now we see this, where Israel has gone back and systematically taken out the proxies. Now, this is very important because Iran does not have their own outside of their borders. They use proxies. And I don't know if most people realize that. They have targeted Israel over and over using Hamas, Hezbollah. They went after Israel's strategic targets using the Houthis. And so somewhere along the way, Israel figured this out. And I think this is part of at least a three-pronged operation. First was the intel gathering about Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran themselves, along with the Houthis. And then they started carrying out to really just cripple Hamas and Hezbollah. We, as you just said, helped with the Houthis. But along that way, there was an initial inside of Iran. It tested their air defenses. We saw that they were horrible. And it showed that Iran did not have the ability to go the distance all the way over themselves into Israel and actually effectively Israel. So with all of that in place and understanding all that and all those different missions working, they were able to then go and start putting these operatives inside Iran and setting up for the big. And I think the rest of the world needs to realize that this is the way it has evolved, and Israel is successful because they did it that way. They didn't just do it politically.
So, John.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Ukraine incident with Russia recently also most likely sparked the idea. Let's say I think it gave them most likely the confirmation that that is something that is kind of within the scope of reasoning within if you're in a torn type of area, that would make sense, guys. Right? I mean, I think that's probably what pushed them also here, guys. Right? But I do expect things to start getting a little bit spicy because we are in a super weird time right now.
Jonathan, what do you think Iran is doing right now? Are they calling up their proxies that have been severely degraded over the past year and a half?
Of course they are, guys.
And saying, help us strike back?
Well, so here's where the real issue, I think, of the future for all of us comes into play, is that we constantly call, and I've heard several guests call Iran the of the region. But the reality is a tactic that they use. Their ideology is fundamental Islam, and this has been a case for thousands of years. And Iran has never evolved or progress to where they work things out diplomatically. You could never trust them. And so with this fundamentalism, this is the fear that I have, is that even inside the United States, the exact that Israel just carried out inside the borders of Iran, with the way that our border was down for 4 years, there could be cells here that could be activated by Iran or proxies and groups that are loyal to Iran. Same thing in Israel. That's basically what happened on October 7th when the Hamas went in and Israel. They weren't prepared for that. And so we need to be prepared. Israel needs to be prepared for those types of. And the number one way to do that is for the citizenry to be. And that's what's going to prevent the majority of this. But Israel is definitely on top of their game. And right now, Iran should be in panic mode because they don't even have the ability right now at this point to run operations with their proxies because they're for their life.
Yeah, the fear of sleeper cells in the United States is very concerning. It's something that the president is very aware of and trying to mitigate as we speak. Jonathan, thank you for joining.
Okay, guys, hold on. It is absolutely a fear. Okay, I just want to go ahead and reiterate that because that is absolutely plausible. Guys, remember, I go into these videos blind, and I also came up with the same exact scenario here. Unfortunately, our border was down for such a long time, and I mean completely just open, wide open. Everyone comes, right? And the problem is that, guys, we have a lot of enemies around this planet. We have done a lot of things, and not amazing things sometimes to other countries, guys. The reality of that is a scenario. We have created some of the groups that completely strongly detest us. We've created them by the things that we have done outside of the United States of America. Let's just be honest here. We also created many of the reasons why the southern border was being bombarded by a lot of people from South America, because we did a lot of that stuff, guys. Just understand that we have a lot of enemies. Okay, we have done a lot of crazy things around the world. Let's just come to terms with that. Now, do I think that Iran has proxies in the United States of America? Absolutely, in fact, guys. And I don't even think it's just Iran. There are many other nations who also have the same type of proxies, let's say, in the United States of America, China being specifically probably one of the major ones. Let's just come to terms with that and kind of soak that in here. I don't think that this is new information specifically. I do think that this is something that we should have all kind of come up with in the first place. If we disregard the concept of emotions, disregard the literal concept of the visual aspect of super impoverished people hitting our southern border basically with their hands out, right? If we disregard the aesthetic of that, understand that we have an issue here. We had to not allow that to happen because, again, we have so many enemies around the planet. Okay, the richest country, right? Richest country. Imagine how many people love to hear that repeated to them on a multiple, on a random basis, while people across the planet are absolutely, struggling through some type of poverty. Guys, like, look at the world's gross income yearly. Like, look at the average citizen, the average person on Earth, right? You'll start to realize what I'm saying when I say this. This is why so many people are, flooding our borders and trying to get into our country, no matter what, by any means, right? This is the reason here. So I do truthfully believe that this is something that we need to be kind of on the lookout for. Obviously, the president is most likely aware of this, guys, because, again, this is not that hard to kind of come up with here. Right. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. All right. I'll catch you guys later.